Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to 2025. I hope the start of the calendar new year is going well for you so far. I've been moving through remnant energies that have been within my body still. So yes, I did have a cold for quite a few days and I'm still recovering, but I'm glad to have my voice back for the most part. So I wanted to come on here today to draw our cards for this year. So I've been doing this for 2 years now, where I draw a card for the months ahead, kind of forecasting the energy that we're going to be moving through as a collective. So I wanted to offer that again this year. But before we get into that, a couple announcements from my end. So there's a lot of energies shifting through the collective already. This is going to be a big and powerful year for the collective for sure, not only in terms of numerology, which we're going to get into, but also in terms of astrological shifts and changes. Before we get into that, I am currently offering spiritual illumination sessions. You can choose between 30 minutes or 60 minutes, depending on your preference. These sessions can happen online via Zoom, or if you're in the Ottawa-Gatineau area, it would be my pleasure for us to meet in person. So let me know if you are looking for additional support on your path and journey at the moment, because it would be my pleasure to walk alongside you. So without further ado, let's get into the energy of this year. I was gonna say yesterday. Last year does feel like it was yesterday. It does feel as though it ended very quickly. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel that 2024 went by in a flash. It was very karmic. Hello. Thank you for joining this space. Happy New Year to you as well. So 2024 felt very karmic, and we were in the energy of 8. And 8 is the strength card in the tarot. So we were really being asked as a collective to chisel and perfect our inner strength. We also had the energy of the dragon accompanying us last year when we look at the Chinese zodiac. So it was really an opportunity for us as a collective to clear out karma when it comes to stepping into our authority and inner power. Now, I've spoken with quite a few souls, and it was a very challenging year. So I'm personally glad it's over, because it was hell for me as well. Mind you, there were some very beautiful parts to last year as well. But now, as we shift into 2025, the energy is going to be radically different. And a lot of this has to do with the big astrological changes we're going to be going through. So last year, we saw Pluto shift into Aquarius. Pluto had been in Capricorn for 16 years and is now in Aquarius. So I already talked about that energy in another live I did. But that energy wants to come through again right now, because it will be setting the stage. So we had Pluto in Capricorn, and these changes impacted government and structures. But a lot of the changes taking place were also internal, because Capricorn is a feminine energy. It's an earth sign, and both earth signs and water signs have a feminine polarity. But now that Pluto has shifted into Aquarius, which is an air sign and has a masculine polarity, we're going to be seeing these changes happen on the international level. These changes are going to happen more drastically, and we're going to be witnessing these changes firsthand. So a lot of stuff that has been going on the subterranean level is going to be coming up to the surface for us to witness this year. So Pluto is setting the stage, and we're going to be seeing huge planetary shifts this year. Jupiter's changing signs, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, which we're not going to cover in this live, but we will definitely cover when those shifts happen later this year. For us right now, the most important shift that's going to be taking place in a couple of days is the lunar nodes shifting signs. So for the past 2 years, the lunar nodes have been in Aries and Libra. And these placements have allowed us to really introspect, reflect, and reanalyze our relationships with others, but also with ourselves. During this transit, it was an opportunity for us to release people pleasing and also look in when it comes to our relationship with ourselves. Are we highly critical? Do we judge ourselves? So the North Node being in Aries and the South Node being in Libra gave us that opportunity to really become more authentic in how we relate to others. And the nodes already began their shifting journey this past September, where we experienced a lunar eclipse in Pisces, if I'm remembering this correctly. Yes, okay, sorry, my brain's a little fuzzy right now. So we're seeing us shift axis when it comes to the lunar nodes. And for those of you that are not familiar with the lunar nodes, there are 2 of them. There's the North Node and the South Node. And the North Node is seen as a point of destiny, whereas the South Node is seen as your point of past. It's usually indicative of a past life you had, and the purpose of this incarnation is for your energy to move from your South Node into your North Node, so you might actualize your destiny. So now, with us as a collective, our nodes are shifting. They're leaving Aries and Libra, and they're entering into Pisces and Virgo. So the energy we're going to be shifting to is healing, because Pisces rules the 12th house of spirituality and subconscious and is ruled by Neptune. And Virgo rules the 6th house of service, health, routine, and is ruled by Chiron, the wounded healer. So we're going to be shifting into heavy, introspective, healing energy this year. And this is amplified by the numerology supporting us. So this year we are in a year 9. And 9 corresponds to not only transformation and completion, but also the Hermit card in the tarot, which happens to be ruled by Virgo. So again, getting that heavy healing energy come through for us as a collective. So for those of us that have been on a healing journey for some time now, we're going to start to reap the rewards of having been diligent with our inner work, tending to our inner fields, and really focusing on our shadows, healing past traumas, releasing past lives. Those of us that have been doing the work this year, we're actually going to be heavily rewarded and are going to be gifted the opportunity to turn around and help our brothers and sisters that are just beginning their healing journey. So for those of us that are comfortable with Hermit energy, this is going to be a good year for us, in the sense that we're not going to necessarily want to be more of a hermit and really isolate ourselves from others, but we're going to want to isolate and be in hermit mode with other people that share similar values. So again, having that kind of Aquarius energy come through, we're going to want to find those little pockets of community where we feel seen, where we feel valued, where we feel nourished, and where we can kind of actualize healing together. And it's really these little pockets of healing communities that are going to start to sprout this year, take shape, take form, and really take off. So I definitely foresee collaborative opportunities taking place between different healers, different modalities merging together, different communities, different groups taking over. I know there was some mention of like cults coming to the surface. There's definitely that on the table as well, because we do have Pisces here, and Pisces though highly spiritual, is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is the god of illusion. So with that being said, even though this year is going to be highly spiritual and highly healing, we need to remain anchored in our discernment and our sight. We need to be able to see through things, and if we don't have the necessary clarity to see, to not take action. And saying that to not take action makes me think of Avatar. It was King Bumi, and he said there's positive Jin and then there's negative Jin. There's action and non-action, and then there's also just doing nothing, which is not making a decision. It's just neutral. So we need to be comfortable enough to sit back and be in this neutral Jin when we don't have clarity of vision or clarity of thought, because there is a lot of air energy coming through the collective as well, which can kind of cause our thoughts to be a little sporadic and all over the place. So we need to make sure if we don't have that clarity, we don't move forward. And that's okay, because we are in feminine energies this year. We have earth, we have water with Pisces, and then the earth with Virgo. So it's okay for us to take our time and to simply move forward when it feels good to our hearts, when we just feel illuminated from the inside out. And talking about illumination, that's going to be the theme for this year's reading. Now, I personally wanted to draw more alchemical archetypes for us this year, but the goddess Kuan Yin wanted to come through and support us. So I will be using the lovely Kuan Yin Oracle deck and drawing 12 cards to forecast the 12 months ahead and see the energies we're going to be moving through as a collective. So that kind of summarizes the energy forecast that wanted to come through. If you have heavy Virgo placements, this is going to be a very, very transformational year for you for the better. You are going to be unrecognizable by the end of this year, and it's going to allow you to really reveal the true you. Any kind of blocks and limitations you've been experiencing and that might have been causing frustration and you've been uncertain how to release it, they're going to clear out this year because it is your year. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what the lovely goddess Kuan Yin has to say for us this year. That flipped over very quickly. Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. So I love the first card that's coming out and says, enter the Jade Temple. And we have the number 11 coming through. We have Jade, which kind of makes me think of Jan. And as I said, we have the lunar nodes shifting on January 11th. I'm kind of tempted to read the first little paragraph of this card. Let's see here. But definitely January is going to be full of initiations, asking us to enter into our own sacred temple. Now, talking about small pockets of groups and or cults, you might get requests from random people to join their communities, to join their groups. Again, pay attention and use your discernment to make sure these are groups that feel nourishing to your soul and that feel in authentic alignment too, because just because there's going to be cults and weird groups circulating around, it doesn't mean that there's not also going to be heartfelt centered groups, authentic groups, but you need to make sure it's authentic to you. Just because it's a group where the people are in their hearts, the group seems lovely. If it's not something you personally care about, you don't need to say yes. Exercise your no. So let's see. Enter the Jade Temple. Kuan Yin in her temple of peaceful jade causes all conflict to elevate to higher peaceful resolution. A resolution and healing of any situation that is concerning you is already underway. In fact, you are being asked to begin to feel the relief of that resolution now, so you can more readily receive the divine solution and blessing of peace from the beloved Kuan Yin when it arrives. So this card kind of coincides with the energy I'm still personally moving through, where there's a bit of tension and conflict. You might be experiencing this in your life as well, where you kind of just feel this unease, this restlessness. And it's kind of the part where, and the image I'm getting right now is the caterpillar has been in its cocoon for a long time, and now it's starting to move around. It's feeling kind of restless. It's feeling ready to start to break out of this cocoon, and now it needs to start putting in that effort to break out of its cocoon. So we're in that stage right now as a collective where there's slow movement starting to happen. We're starting to awaken to our new sense of self. We're realizing that we're no longer a caterpillar, yet we're not yet the butterfly. We're in this weird in-between stage where we're not necessarily always sure of what is happening. We just know something is taking place. And with the Enter the Jade Temple right now, this is symbolizing to me that we're still in that cocoon and need to allow ourselves to still be in that cocoon. It's not a time to force anything, to take radical action, but to slowly begin to awaken, to shift, to move, right? We think of the caterpillar that's no longer a caterpillar in its cocoon. It's simply a being right now in this subliminal space of creation. And as it begins to come into consciousness of itself, it knows it's different, yet might not yet know how it's different. So for January, that's the energy we're going to be in. We know we did a lot of work last year, and we're kind of moving through residual energy right now in January, kind of stirring, shifting things around, but there's still a lot of darkness. We're still not really sure who we are, what we're doing, why we're here. So we have the beautiful Kuan Yin inviting us to stay in this Jade Temple. Now, jade, when we think of the crystal, it's this beautiful green color, and jade is associated with the heart chakra. So January is going to be about us tuning into our hearts. And she also does have a lotus here, a pink lotus, which ties into our higher heart chakra. So January is going to be about allowing that slow movement, that slow stirring of energy. We're not gaining rapid momentum just yet. We're just beginning to awaken and open our eyes as we acknowledge our new reality and the new shape we are taking. And we can anticipate high heart chakra and higher heart chakra activations to be taking place, and this is going to allow our authentic expression to flow effortlessly through us this year, because Pluto in Aquarius demands it. It is authenticity all the way through. And even though the predominant energy this year is feminine, there is still going to be bold action and energy taking place. And this bold action taking place needs to be rooted and grounded in your authentic expression. But till then, we are being called to rest in Kuan Yin's Jade Temple. We're being asked to connect with our hearts. With the number 11 coming through, this is symbolizing the lunar shift we're going to be experiencing on January 11th. And so it's an invitation for us to take some time to reflect on what that change is going to mean for each and every one of us. Where are these nodes shifting within your own birth chart? Which houses are now going to be active starting this year. That is the energy we need to start reflecting on. And it's the energy that's going to be building momentum as we progress through the months this year. So for now, we're being encouraged to rest in this temple, to move a little bit, and to connect with our hearts. So January is going to be a relatively slow month, but it's a slowness that we need to recalibrate as we get accustomed to our new sense of self. All right, so that's all I'm getting for the month of January. We're now going to move into the month of February. Actually, I was going to draw another Kuan Yin card, but as I looked to my right, I had my Healing Energy Oracle deck, which I thought about using. I wasn't sure I wanted to use, but I mean, it was there and I grabbed it, so it wants to be incorporated today. So let's see. So the supportive message for January is gratitude. I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty in and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts. Riches surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. Absolutely beautiful. Do I want to use these? No, we're gonna reshuffle this and see. Okay, these are coming out again, so we are just gonna go with it. All right, so, ooh, okay. So, as mentioned, January is going to be a little slow. We're just starting to stir and awaken our new sense of self. February stuff is going to start to pick up. Continuing with the imagery of the caterpillar that's not a caterpillar, that's in its cocoon, starting to stir and move and awaken. We're starting to break out of that cocoon. Maybe we have like a leg that comes out because we're going to start to really step out onto the scene and show who we are with the card Weaving the Future Golden 44. And we have a master number coming through to support us. So with this card coming out, we're going to be receiving huge cosmic downloads when it comes to embodying the frequency for the golden age. A lot of us that are connected to the stars are going to be receiving powerful messages and transmissions from our galactic families. You might even have galactic guides begin to connect with you. And we're really going to start to weave a thread of golden consciousness through the collective. So the collective's consciousness has already been shifting and changing tremendously over the past few years and decades. And now this year, we're really going to see that golden consciousness start to take root and to spread through the collective psyche, really illuminating connections between us. So we're going to kind of wash out the old system that's already been breaking apart. We're going to wash out this system and reforge new structures, new pathways. And these are pathways that are going to be centered in our hearts, in authenticity. And it's going to allow this golden consciousness to really root and take place and drastically shift how we relate to one another as well. Because as we all know, or should know by now, our old way of operating and doing things is dying and has been dying for a while. And this is because a new age is upon us. A new world is being created, and the old one is being called to dismantle itself, to release and let go, to allow this newness to take center stage. And we're really going to start to see this newness in February, especially with the 4-4 energy coming through. It's very, very strong. We have double Aries energy. And the reason why I say Aries energy coming through is the 4 in the tarot is the Emperor. And the Emperor is ruled by Aries. So a lot of leadership, a lot of power, and strong foundational energy coming through for us in February. So it's really us stepping out of that cocoon, breaking out of it, and then showcasing our wings and being like, it's me, bitch, I'm here. So we're going to be feeling this in February very, very, very strongly. And we're going to start to build something as well, because 4 is a very stable number. It is the number of stability, of foundation, and it's amplified here with it being 44. So not only are you going to be building a foundation, but you might actually be building a foundation along somebody else. So we are seeing that partnership energy. Even though partnership energy is usually associated with the number 2, the number 2 is a part of the 4. So we're kind of seeing partnership energy come through in this card, and it's the amplified energy of partnership where we form community, and through that community create powerful foundation. So some of you might be starting businesses either with someone or with a group of people, and it's really going to be powerful because it's going to be imbued with strength, because 4 plus 4 gives us the 8, which again in the tarot is strength. And strength is ruled by Leo. So even though you kickstart this project, this business in February, and might not see the rewards you want just yet, hang on, because you will be seeing them during Leo season. This is where you set the stage. You're building that foundation. You might not be performing just yet, because the image I'm getting right now is when you think of music concerts. Let's say you're doing one in an open field. You need to set the stage. You need to set the foundation. And then the musicians come and they perform. So you are going to be setting the stage, building that foundation over the month of February. You yourself with a partner or a group of people. And it's going to really activate this golden thread of consciousness within the collective. Whatever project you aim to start in February, or even if it's just the idea and you just start planting seeds, it's going to be blessed by this golden energy, and it is going to be successful at some point in time. So there's a need to be patient if you don't see the rewards or results you want right away. Because strength also equates to endurance. We need to be able to hold on to our vision, even though we might not see any material or tangible proof that it's happening. So that's what's going to be happening for us in February. We're going to be breaking out of our cocoons, expanding our wings, and maybe that's all we kind of do for February as well. You know, we adjust to our wings, because for a lot of us that have maybe been in a cocoon for multiple years, getting used to this new sense of self, getting used to actually having wings now, not just legs and being some kind of worm looking thing, it can take some time. So for February, even though there's some seeds being planted, strong seeds, we also need to give ourselves the grace to adapt to this shift within our sense of self that has occurred. Having wings. Maybe we're just sitting on a branch in February, flapping our wings, getting used to them, moving them around, getting used to this new part of us that we have created. So that's okay too for February. So whether you're planting seeds, taking action, beginning projects, or simply adjusting to your new sense of self, that's going to be the energy we're going to be moving through in February as a collective. In terms of healing energy, we have unconditional love coming through. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. I'm aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So again, for February, kind of amplifying movement now that we're getting used to our new sense of self, but still allowing ourselves the grace to go slowly if that's where we're at on our paths. So that was the card for February. We're now going to move into March. So let's see. Energy for March. Okay, that's too many cards. No, that one doesn't want to come. Okay, so definitely going to be some hesitation around March about something. Okay, I'm just going to go grab that one. Because cards flew out for January and February, and March was a little more timid. So let's see. Ooh, okay, so even though the energy was a little timid, yes, I am. Yes, this is the deck I'm using. Yeah, it's such a beautiful energy. Like I said at the beginning of the live, I wanted to use archetypes again this year for the year forecast, but Kuan Yin really wanted to come through and be our guiding light and energy. So that's the deck I'm using. So for March, even though the energy felt timid at first, holy shit, we have here the yellow tiger mother. So we have very strong tiger mother energy coming through. So it's really interesting. I'm kind of seeing the energy play out between January, February, March. So January, it's stirring. February, we're like, yes, okay, let's go. And then we hit March and we're like, I'm not really sure that's the direction I want to go in. But we have here the yellow tiger mother coming through. So even though there might be some hesitation in the first couple weeks of March, first couple days, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. We're going to have renewed power come through and really bless us and amplify our wishes, our gifts, and our projects. Because as mentioned, in February, we might start to build some stuff. And it might not take off right away. But at some point in March, each and every one of you, you're going to have a powerful breakthrough in regards to, do I need to pivot with this business? Do I need to change directions? Or you're going to experience an aha moment, a breakthrough of some kind that's really going to illuminate you from the inside out. And that's when you'll know that you will have been blessed by the tiger mother. Because she's coming through, and the energy that is radiating from this card is very powerful. And it is also card 13. So we have divine feminine energy, divine feminine blessing coming through in March. And we also have a lot of planetary shifts that are going to be happening in March. Now, I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I know there are some happening in March. There's 2 happening. I wrote them down yesterday. I can't remember them, but I will make sure to post them in the comment section of this live for your information. So here, the yellow tiger mother. there's a lot going on in this card. We're talking about hearing. So for a lot of us, we're going to be getting psychic downloads. For a lot of us, clairaudience might be coming online with hear. So if you've been looking to perfect and awaken your psychic gifts and abilities, really focusing on that in March is going to be very important, because we do have psychic gifts and abilities being illuminated in March. We have yellow. So yellow is associated with the solar plexus, which is our center of confidence, self-esteem. It's our willpower, it's our drive, and it is our roar. So we have tiger energy coming through. So with March kind of being a little timid at the start, we might be asked at some point to just roar. Maybe we need to set stronger boundaries. Maybe we enter into conflict with somebody and really need to use our voice, maybe use our body. It's going to be different for each and every one of you, but you will know when this moment is upon you, when you feel this heat, this fire kind of start to emanate from inside out. Maybe you're at work and somebody just really crosses a boundary, and then you just feel this fire. I was gonna say rage up, but yeah, for some of you it might just rage up and then really activate your throat. And maybe you say no for the first time, or you set a boundary and say, no, I don't like to be spoken to that way. No, I don't feel like doing that right now. And it's the Tiger Mother activating you. So this energy is really interesting because January's been kind of dormant. We're in the Jade Temple. February, there's movement going on. We're shifting, we're changing, we're creating a little bit. And then March is going to be a big activation happening. Solar plexus activations. And for a lot of us, solar plexus is going to activate our hearts and really kind of, I was going to say explode that open, but I don't know if that's too dramatic or not. But yes, for a lot of us that have had blocks around our heart chakras, it's really empowering your solar plexus that's going to allow your heart to drastically open up. And it's going to just magnetize blessings towards you. For a lot of you, your seat of power is your solar plexus. Now, yes, the solar plexus is our center of willpower, but depending on your birth chart and zodiac placements, we all have a power chakra. You have a certain energy center that is where you draw the most of your energy and power from as a zodiac sign. For example, Capricorn rules the root. So being grounded, anchored in the present moment is where Capricorns really draw their energy from. So for a lot of us, it's going to be solar plexus energy is where we're really going to be drawing a lot of power from in March. We're really going to be kickstarting stuff, and things are going to take off quite quickly. There's artistic expression that might take off. You might get discovered if you're an artist, or really attract clients and souls that really resonate with your creations. A lot of movement in March. And it's solar energy movement. It's being seen. It's stepping into our lights and taking in that space. And we have tiger energy. Tiger is a beautiful, powerful feline accompanying us as an animal spirit guide in March. So if you feel your energy or power waning, tapping into tiger energy for the month of March is going to be very supportive. And then we have mother energy coming through. This, for me, takes on the shape of the mother archetype. And it's asking us to tap into the mother archetype for March and to really mother ourselves, but to mother ourselves fiercely. To really step in, set those boundaries, say no. So for March, there might be some conflict. There might be a need to just express ourselves in a way we've never expressed before. And it's interesting because we have the number 13 here. So the one corresponds to the Magician and the Tarot, and then 3 corresponds to the Empress. So we have that manifestor energy coming forth, and it's supported by divine love. And then as we add 1 and 3 together, we get a 4. So we're getting that stability again returned for us in March. But it's deconstructed stability. Because in February, we had the 4-4, and now we have the 1-3. So in March, we might feel as though we need to take a step back, or might feel as though we've taken a step back in regards to our business or whatever it is we want to create. But it's understanding that that step back is necessary for you to propel forward, right? So we go back to the 1, but then propel forward to the 3 and then the 4. So there's going to be a quantum leap also happening in March, even though you might experience a temporary setback. So damn, March feels powerful AF right now. So really interested in seeing how that month is going to play out, especially with the planetary shifts happening. And our healing energy card for March is goodness. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. Which is a very beautiful card. And I will be posting pictures of all the cards as well, for those of us that are visual. All right, so that summarizes the forecast for March. Let's get into April, which is going to be the astrological new year. So I know this, I feel like this is common information at this point, but just in case, as a reminder, if you're not feeling the calendar new year that happened on January 1st, the astrological new year happens in the springtime with Aries. So if you're still just kind of staying cozy at home, gathering your resources and not really doing much, that's perfectly okay as well. There's no rush. It's based on your energy and what feels good to you. All right, so for April, we have Bamboo Moon. And we have number 1 for April. So astrological new year, and I'm trying to just settle in my energy because I can feel it just rising up to the surface. The astrological new year this year is going to be lit. Oh my God, with this 1 coming through. So 1, new beginnings, new starts, new intentions. And then also 1 is connected to the sun. So illumination, just being illuminated from the inside out, having those aha moments, being in our divine light and allowing ourselves to be seen, radiating that light outward so our soul tribe can find us. April is going to be an illuminating month for us as a collective. And we have Bamboo Moon, which is really interesting. So we have the number 1 that corresponds to the sun. And then we have the word moon here. So we're having that feminine archetype and energy come through. So April is going to be about divine partnership. We have the masculine with the sun, with the 1, and then we have the feminine with the moon and the number 2. And together, the 1 and the 2 creates a 3, which is that partnership energy that goes beyond the self to merge into a 3rd creation. Now, this is talking about creation. This is a really random message for those of you trying to conceive and have children. April is going to be a good month to focus on that. But for those of us that don't want to have kids, it's going to be a very powerful, fertile month to launch creations into the world. You're really going to get this cosmic support. So if you've been thinking about launching a course, a program, school, products, art, oracle decks, cards, books, what have you, whatever you're looking to create and launch, April is going to be a fantastic month because you are going to get lunar and solar support in reaching the intended audience. So again, if you're kind of feeling that antsiness, that restlessness, you're not sure when to launch or do this, maybe April 1st works for you. Around the astrological new year would be a good time for that because you're going to get so much support, and support from the unseen realms is what I'm also picking up on. You're having ancestors. Wow, okay. You're having ancestors really come through to push your creations out into the world. If conceiving has been difficult for you, you're having ancestors come through to help make your dream of having a family become a reality. So if you want that added assistance, your ancestors are on standby and they are reaching out to support you in shifting your reality so that you may bathe in the moonlight like this goddess and feel like the goddess, the god you are, completely at ease in your gifts, in your natural talents, but also creating the life you desire. So a lot of ancestral support coming through for us in April. I still have a bit of a cough, but it's all right. We're getting through this. And then we also have bamboo. Now, bamboo is a wonderful plant, tree. I'm not sure how you want to call it, but bamboo is flexible and so versatile. So with bamboo being on this card, April is also going to be a month where we're asked to be flexible and to bend on occasion, to go with the flow. So even though it's going to be a powerful month for us to kickstart new projects, new beginnings, new intentions, we're also going to have to be flexible and adaptable. Maybe you need to pivot. Let's say you wanted to launch a store in April and you have this ideal location, but for some reason shit falls through and you need to pivot and find another location. Know that this is the bamboo moon at work, urging you to be flexible and adaptable because she is going to gift you an even better location for your business. So even though April is really going to start taking off for us, it's going to be exciting. We're also going to be asked to lean into trust and to have faith that everything's going to unfold for us the way it's meant to. And again, just look at this goddess. Like, she's completely peaceful on this moon, relaxed, not stressed at all. So this is the energy we're going to be called to embody in April. Even though we're going to be in Aries season, we might be like ready to fight, feeling aggressive, feeling a little edgy, wanting to just get going. We're going to have to practice adaptability and flexibility and know when to go with the flow as well, because we have the moon here and the moon flows. It does not cause friction or resistance. It just moves effortlessly. If it hits a block, it waits for the block to clear. It gains momentum and then overflows over the block. So heavy moon energy in April as well. So the need to adapt and go with the flow. So an overall beautiful month ahead for us in April. New beginnings, new starts to projects and initiatives really taking off, and ancestral support coming through. Let's see, healing energy for April. Ooh, oh my God. Oh, I love it when it coincides with the other cards. Okay, and it says, I am light. I always have hope. No matter the ordeal, I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God, and am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. So yes, April is definitely going to be a month of illumination where we are going to be called more than ever to step into our light and to just shine. Because this is the energy we're moving in through. If you look at this card, there's a lot of light here. There's still some darkness up here, but this light is just taking over and pushing out the darkness. And this is really what we are going to be doing in April. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. So we are now going to be moving into the month of May. So let's see what Kuan Yin has to say. I've been really enjoying this forecast so far. Feel free to let me know how you guys are feeling, what's coming up for you right now, because I definitely feel that not only is this going to be a very transformational year for us, but we're going to feel revitalized by the end of it. Ooh, I like this. So for May, we have Orchid Priestess of Destiny, card 21. I'm actually going to read the little paragraph for this one. So it says, the Orchid Priestess of your highest spiritual destiny calls to you now, beloved. She calls you to your purpose, path, and soul passion. You are called to rise again and again to live up into your potential with all its uniqueness and beauty. She will call you always with her sweet flute playing deep in your heart, blossoms of orchid and chrysanthemum falling from her feet, stirring your heart to quest for your truest soul passion. You are more than welcome. Thank you for stopping by. So, Orchid Priestess of Destiny. So right away, what stands out the most to me is the number 21. So we have the 2 and we have the 1. The 2 in the tarot symbolizes the High Priestess. And then we have the 1, which symbolizes the Magician. So we kind of have a deconstruction happening during the month of May. We're going from 2 to 1. We're going from the High Priestess into the Magician. And the High Priestess and the Magician, to me, are divine counterparts. So with both these energies coming through, the feminine and the masculine, we're going to be asked to really pay attention to our intuition during the month of May and to really follow those psychic hits we receive and really attuning us to this new way of being. For some of us, we might feel as though we're completely flipping how we've operated up until now. Maybe we've been predominant in our logic masculine side, and we're going to be called to flip to our feminine, intuitive, sensing side. The opposite might also be true for you, because in May we enter into Gemini season towards the end. So we have that kind of dual action. I know May is predominantly Taurus, but we do have that Gemini energy coming through as well. And that's mainly what I'm picking up actually for the month of May. So the Taurus energy is kind of silent right now, and it's really Gemini energy I'm picking up on. So that kind of interplay of duality going on, especially between the High Priestess and the Magician. So it's going to be about coming home and embodying both, being able to seamlessly move between our manifester and then our priestess, and knowing how to ebb and flow and shapeshift between both. When do you need to remain silent and keep your downloads or transmissions or what you're working on close to your heart and unrevealed for now? And when do you need to take action and disclose and maybe share what you've been working on? So May is kind of a wild card kind of month. I'm not really picking up a specific kind of theme or message, other than the fact that there's kind of going to be this dual interplay going on between High Priestess energy and Magician energy, and that it's going to kind of just be open. So May is kind of a blank canvas right now. allowing you to choose your paintbrush. Is it going to be the paintbrush of the priestess or the paintbrush of the magician, or both? And whatever it is, you're going to be gifted the time to really reflect on what it is you want to achieve, why you're here. We have the word destiny on this card, so it's going to be kind of a window where we really reflect on what destiny means to us during the month of May. And I seem to recall there's another big planetary shift happening in May. I should have brought my little booklet over. I forgot, but I will post that information in the comment section for you guys as well. So May, kind of in this in-between area, which is really strange for May because we are in Taurus season and Taurus is all about stability. And I'm not really feeling stability in this month. And this isn't to alarm anyone, but it's just kind of void energy and energy of potentiality where anything can kind of spring forward. So it's really going to depend on how January, February, and March go for you. And April, sorry. Is going to dictate your May, because May is just open right now. Is the key word that wants to come through is open, which is very interesting. And I just realized it has the word priestess on here too. So again, that priestess energy, we have the 2 high priestess energy. So that priestess energy is amplified in May. And that's okay. That's why I'm not really picking up on anything, because the high priestess keeps things veiled and hidden. So I'm not getting any more information than that. The priestess for that time period is keeping things sealed and is going to reveal what needs to be revealed at the appropriate time for each and every one of you. So, dear priestess, we are going to leave it at that and move into our healing energy for the month of May. Ooh, okay. We got me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to, honor, and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. Yeah, so really interesting month of May, me. So I'm curious, somebody's going to have to leave a comment on this during the month of May and let me know what is going on, because I'm really curious, because I'm just seeing a myriad of just different pathways take off in May, yet seeing nothing at the exact same time. Oh God, okay. We're now going to move into the month of June. So let's see. June, getting to that halfway point. Ooh, we have Sisters of the Sun Rising, card 28. Okay, definitely feeling sisterhood vibes from this card heavy. Not only does the card say sisters, but this card just radiates sisterhood, community. And it's a bunch of women just kind of really being in their power. I know my camera's not doing the best job at showcasing these beautiful women's faces, but they all are dressed differently, yet are all serene and powerful at the exact same time. So powerful collaboration, sisterhood, community, and I mean, it says sisters, but it's not defined by gender. We could have brotherhood come through, brother communities taking place, and we have the sun rising. So for me, what I'm picking up from this card, it is the divine feminine rising, and this is something I talk about a lot because it's very important, and it is the resurgence of the divine feminine. We have lost her to time. We have lost her and desecrated her in the face of our current society. Though it's collapsing, it has been predominantly patriarchal. So we are seeing a rise and return of the feminine. And with it being sun rising, it is going to be seen and witnessed on a bigger and wider scale than ever before. Because when we think of women, women are lunar. And lunar is nighttime. So not a lot of people are always attuned to this energy, but with the Sisters of the Sun rising, it's going to be the solar rising of the feminine. We can think of the goddess Sekhmet that's coming through. I'm also picking up Kali is coming through. I'm picking up Pele coming through. So all these powerful goddesses that rule fire, that are overseen by the sun, all those energies are going to be coming through for us as a collective during the month of June and really activating that solar feminine energy. We're not going to be hiding in the shadows anymore. We are going to be loud, we are going to be proud, and we are going to be fucking seen in June for this sisterhood energy. Now, for our men, it's going to be holding the space for this solar feminine energy to come through. Now, it's understanding that regardless of gender, we all have feminine and masculine polarities within us. And it's really this solar feminine energy that's going to be taking center stage in June. And we have the 28th, so maybe the 28th of June is going to be a particularly activated day. And it's interesting because 2 + 8 gives us a 10, which is completion. So maybe there's something culminating and completing on the 28th, or maybe the month of June overall is going to be a season where we complete something, we lay something to rest. Maybe some of us exit an abusive relationship. Maybe we put an end to toxic behavioral patterns, something that has been weighing us down and preventing us from stepping into our light is really going to be completing and ending in June so that we may rise. Which I absolutely love. And again, there are 4 women on this card, so this symbolizes stability. So whatever kind of stirs, awakens, and just rises in June, it's going to be so stable, and it's going to be blessed by the sun goddesses. So very powerful month of June. I'm also picking up May, so this energy might even start to be felt in May. All right, so that's what I'm picking up. I keep wanting to say May, but we're in June now. Okay, healing energy for June. The path to light. I make the conscious choice to move toward the light, one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. It's an absolutely beautiful card, and I just love the progression of light on here. We see like the light start at the bottom and then just go through what could be maybe our chakras activating, rebalancing us, and then culminating in this beautiful sunlight at the top here. So June is full of just sunlight. Maybe even sitting out in the sun is going to be beneficial in terms of receiving these activations. Oh, I could feel the heat of the solar energy already for June. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. We're now going to move into the month of July. So let's see what the goddess has to say for us for July. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So for July, we have Mother of Mercy, number 19. And it's interesting because in July, we head into Cancer season. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is a mother archetype. And we have the number 19, which gives us a 10, so completion. So again, we're getting that completing something energy. And again, my guides are reminding me like, duh, we're in a year 9, and 9 symbolizes completion. So far, we've had 2 periods, 2 months where we're going to be initiated, invited to complete certain things. And July is another one. And it could have to do with your mother, given that we have mother energy coming through. And we have mercy. So for me, July is going to be a heavily healing month for us as a collective. And I know that the year overall is going to be very healing, but that healing is going to reach a pivotal moment in July where we're going to be asked to display and embody mercy. We're going to be asked to display and embody forgiveness, because look at Kuan Yin in this card. She is sitting in her authority in this bath, in this water. She's in her power and completely connected to her emotions and her sensitivity and her heart. So July is going to be an invitation for us to remain sensitive, open, and compassionate while remaining anchored in our authority and not allowing others to sway us. So July might actually feel emotionally challenging for a lot of us, because especially if this person that we're having issues with is our own mother, we might have challenges when it comes to setting boundaries or effectively communicating and expressing our truth. But we need to remember that fundamentally, we are each our own authority. We can move from this place, and when we move from a place of inner authority, we're moving from our soul self. And our soul self sees that every relationship is a soul contract. And when we can take the lens of soul contracts, this can sometimes allow us to detach from the person at hand. So instead of seeing them as our mother, see them as a soul that we have an agreement with. And sometimes that detachment can offer the expansion we need in order to facilitate healing. When we can take an expanded lens when it comes to these difficult relationships and realize that we are in fact all souls that signed an agreement, we can allow grace and compassion to flood in. So July is going to be very healing for a lot of us, and we are going to be called upon to practice compassion. And I don't know if you can hear that. There's a crow in the background. So crow spirit is confirming that. And he or she is still going. Okay. So forgiveness, compassion, deep soul healing in July is going to be the main energy we're going to be moving through as a collective. And there's a bathtub here too, which I mean is so synchronistic because we're in Cancer season. So Cancer, it's water. So we're going to be in our own waters, or called to explore other people's waters, especially if some of us have soul-based businesses where we help and facilitate healing. July might be a good month to offer healing. And in terms of closing message for this card, we have the 1 and the 9. So we have the Magician and the Hermit, which is really interesting because the Hermit is that archetype that kind of keeps to himself. And then we have the Magician that's out influencing the world. And it's interesting because the one thing I forgot to mention about the Hermit, which can be a challenging aspect of this archetype, is that when we reflect upon the Hermit card in the tarot, the traditional depiction is an old man in the dark with a lantern, and he can only see one step ahead of himself. So with us being in a hermit year, we might feel as though we can only see one step ahead and nothing else. And this is done on purpose. This is a deliberate kind of orchestration that the cosmos has created for us. And it's in order to facilitate being in the now. We often get so caught up in the past and the future that we don't live. And so the cosmos has really made a point for us this year to practice presence and to focus on the now. And in order to activate presence, now energy within us, we have the archetype of the Hermit guiding us this year. So practicing presence is really going to come to the forefront during the month of July. So if you're still kind of struggling, being overly focused on the past or on the future, July is going to be a good moment for you to really connect with your inner hermit. Tune into your Virgo energy. Where does Virgo sit in your birth chart? Because that's going to be your gateway to your inner hermit and your activation to being here in the now. Okay, I think I'm going to leave July at that because, damn, those healing waters are powerful AF. I can feel that. I'm like, fuck, it's going to bring up shit I might not even want to deal with. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'll do my best to keep you guys posted, you know. So, we'll see. Ooh, and then our healing energy card is courage. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. I love it. So July is going to require courage. And it's interesting because even though it is the month of Cancer, we eventually flow into Leo season. So courage is a perfect energy to be guiding us into that shift. All right, August already. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say for August. That card just came out. We have the Amaryllis Lute. I don't know if I'm saying that right. 34. I'm going to read the first little paragraph of the book. Let's see. I definitely need to use this deck more often because the messages are absolutely beautiful. Oh my god, guys. You guys! Let's start. I can't even. Okay, it says, you have won a victory, beloved. A victory over the past, and the Amaryllis lute is sounding through every cell of your being, heralding your rising vibration as you leave fear behind you once again. In fact, the lute says you are growing fast and spiritually. You are outgrowing your old life even more so. When your vibration changes, so too does your life, beloved. This is natural. It is safe and loving for you to release that which no longer feels right for you now. No matter how much it was important in your old life, it might not have the same place in your new life. Oh my god. I absolutely love this energy for August. So even though we're going through different waves of energy throughout the year, everything is going to culminate in August. We're really going to be reaping those rewards and seeing the results we desire. And it's interesting with this card, we have the number 7 coming through. And even though we're in a year 9, we have that 7 energy accompanying us as well with the 25. 2 plus 5 gives us that 7 energy. And in the tarot, it corresponds to the Chariot. The Chariot is forward movement and victory, success. So this card coming out for us in the month of August is confirming that. We are going to be reaping huge rewards in August. We're going to be proud. We're going to be successful. We're going to be happy. We're going to be joyful. So even though the year might not progress the way you want to, maybe the next few months don't go as planned at all. And you're like, Leah, it's been complete shit. August, you're going to be winning something and feeling like you've achieved and accomplished something. And I'm getting this for the majority of the collective is going to be celebrating something in August. For the select few, and I mean select few, like this is a very, 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 very small minority that might not feel like they win anything in August. It's because you're set to win in November. So we'll get to November shortly and see what's going on. But August is going to be a month where we feel victorious, and it's victorious in terms of spirituality with the 34 here, which makes a 7, and again that 25 energy, which is also a 7. So just amplifying having felt like we've made it, that we've reached a goal we didn't even know we had, because it's going to be spiritual goals, it's going to be spiritual rewards at the forefront, and we're going to be witnessing that in terms of energetic results. Maybe you've struggled with mental health, and then all of a sudden in August, everything just seems clear. You feel healed, you feel better, and it's just going to be a miracle. And it's Kuan Yin's energy coming through to bless us during the month of August and really highlight those rewards and offer them to us. And then with the number 34, we have the 3. So we have that unconditional love, that goddess energy coming through to just really give us a hug. So if your year has been difficult up until August, you're going to be receiving a huge hug from the goddess herself. And this hug, this unconditional love is going to allow you to progress, because we go from the 3 to the 4. And the 4 is the Emperor. So we're going to reignite our inner light. So if you feel that your energy kind of wanes in August, maybe doing some goddess work or calling upon Kuan Yin herself might be supportive and beneficial to you. With simply requesting her assistance, she will come and just envelop you with this beautiful, compassionate energy. And receiving this compassion is going to allow you to progress on your spiritual journey. So that's what we have for the month of August. Let's see in terms of energy healing message what we have. Ooh, we have faithfulness. I commit to my mind, heart, and will. I am devoted to the needs of my soul. I trust in myself, in God, and the universe. And I love how the energy is just like spreading out everywhere on this card. However, we do see darkness around this light. So August might have some challenges along with it. I am picking up mental health challenges, but you are still going to come out victorious through it out. I don't know why that came out that way. Through it out. Maybe you need to throw something out. I don't know. But you're still going to win and feel better. And for some of you, again, because I'm picking up strong mental health challenges for August, maybe going on a retreat, working with a specific medicine healer or medicine is going to prove to be beneficial for you. And it's interesting because it kind of looks like a bug a little bit, like a butterfly or something. So I don't know, maybe traveling to like a warm destination, going somewhere where there's bugs. I don't know, but that's a really random message that wants to come through. All right, so that is the forecast for August. We're now going to move into September. So let's see. Let's see what the goddess has to say. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll check. September. Ooh, we have Immortal Treasures 14. And it's interesting. I feel like there's been a lot of 4 energy coming through this year. I want to read the little paragraph. So let's see. Immortal Treasures. You carry within you precious immortal treasures, beloved. They exist beyond life and death, belonging to the celestial heavenly realms of the divine presence within you. Kuan Yin now guides you to honor these treasures, the gifts of your soul, which include the ability that you have to transmit healing. Honor yourself as a healer, beloved. Whether formally or informally, your soul brings a special healing light to humanity. You have divine support in your role as a healer in whatever way, usual or highly unusual, that this is unfolding for you now. Which is very interesting because, as we talked about in the beginning of this live, the lunar nodes are shifting into Pisces and Virgo, which are our healing axis, astrologically speaking. In September, we enter into Virgo season. So we're going to kind of see a renewed sense of healing energy kind of come to I want to say climax in September, but it's not going to feel as intense as a climax. It's more so going to feel like a coming home, kind of like releasing a pent-up breath where we just go, I don't know if you've ever experienced a moment where you kind of forget to breathe. You just didn't realize, but you were holding your breath. So that's what we're going to be experiencing in Virgo. Just this releasing of this breath we were holding that we didn't even know we were holding. So there's going to be a renewal of healing abilities, gifts, and abilities in September. It's going to be a highly, I don't want to say activating month, because activating isn't the word that wants to come through. It's more so a remembrance of that healer archetype. As we just read, the Immortal Treasures is a reminder of the healing gifts we all carry within ourselves. And September is going to be a gentle, very gentle, even subtle maybe, invitation for us to embrace our inner treasures. And I was going to say to offer them to the collective, but that's not entirely true. It's going to be a matter of offering our treasures in a way that soothes our soul. Maybe our treasure is singing, and we want to just sing for ourselves right now. We want to sing for our spirit guides, and we don't want to necessarily sing for others right now. And that's perfectly okay. Because again, we're kind of coming home to that hermit energy. Hermit is the archetype for the year. It's ruled by Virgo, and we're going to really step into that energy during Virgo season. So we might feel the need or the desire to pull back our energy in September, and that's completely okay. If we need extra time for us to marvel at our own gifts, our own abilities, our own treasures in the privacy of our own homes, in solitude, that is perfectly okay, and Kuan Yin is fully supporting us as we do that. We also have the number 1 and 4. So we have Magician energy and Emperor energy. So to me, this is indicating the need to take action, but action in service of our inner healer. So again, if you need to pull back your energy, maybe go on a solitary retreat somewhere, do it. You know, especially if you've been taking this whole year up until now to develop your gifts, to put yourself out there, to shine your light. It's okay to kind of just close in your butterfly wings and go take a nap, because that's the energy we're going to kind of be in September, where we're going to feel the need to just pull back for a little bit. And then we also have the number 5. So 1 plus 4 gives us a 5. So 5 can be challenges, it can be change, but this is all going to be subtle. I'm picking up that these changes are going to be happening internally primarily. So it's interesting, even though we're going to kind of be in the fall time for where I live, I'm kind of picking up winter energy for us come September. So maybe we really slow down and take some time to tend to our own needs, because the healer also needs healing. So it's going to be a month for us to focus on ourselves, and self-care is what I'm picking up on. Okay, let's see. Energy healing. Ooh. We have the voice of the heart. I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. I find this card is absolutely beautiful. And I love that it says the voice of the heart. So again, kind of symbolizing that need to silence out the world for a little bit so that we can tune in to this subtle voice that emanates from our hearts. And I like that it says, my intuition leads me on the path of light. I'm just repositioning myself. I trust the song of my soul. So again, you might have to move in a different direction come September, but that is okay. Trust your intuition and let it happen. Okay, so that was the forecast for September. We're now going to move into October. And keep in mind, even though these are forecasts for months, like all of my readings, whatever part resonates, know that that's what's meant for you. You know, even though we are going on a month-to-month basis, energy doesn't know time. It just knows space. So if there's resonance, know that it's meant for you and trust your intuition. We are not limited to time, and we're not limited to zodiac signs or anything like that either. Okay. Ooh, I really like this energy for October. We have Drink from the Emerald Fountain. Card number 7. So 7 is going to be another highly powerful month. October is going to be another highly spiritual activating month for us. And with the card saying, drink from the Emerald Fountain, I'm getting kind of different energies coming through. Some of us might engage in plant medicine or alternative healing where we need to drink something in order to facilitate healing. Some of us might travel to ancient sites or go on a pilgrimage. We also have emerald coming through as a supportive crystal. So maybe looking up emerald, what its metaphysical healing properties are. It's interesting because there's a lot going on in this card. Kuan Yin has 4 arms. She's holding a bowl, probably from some kind of liquid from the Emerald Fountain. And then there's also a lotus down here. So I'm picking up initiations maybe into secret societies or joining different communities, a different lineage. Again, we did talk about cults being a potential theme this year with the lunar node shift. So there's a need to practice discernment and only drink from a fountain that you actually want to drink from. And with the number 7, as I said, we can anticipate a lot of spiritual activations happening during the month of October. I'll have to see at some point if there's something going on with Uranus during that month in terms of aspects, because I'm feeling Uranian energy during October and kind of feeling that energy electrify our chakras. So that's all I'm picking up for October. It kind of has a mysterious vibe to it too. So there's going to be different initiations taking place, but these initiations, like, I can't tap into them right now because they're going to be very personal and very intimate based on your life, what you are seeking for. But yeah, a lot of initiations happening. And then we have affirmation. I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and am respected by others. I kind of really love this affirmation energy for the month of October because it kind of initiates that shift into Scorpio energy that we enter into towards the end of October. So again, sitting in your power, not being afraid of others, but respecting yourself and respecting others, being brave and gentle at the same time, and allowing yourself to acknowledge your own needs. So that's all I'm getting for October. We are now going to move into November. So let's see. I forgot that I had put this card aside. So the card for November is Many Hands of the Goddess. And I mean, there are indeed many hands. And we have the card 17, so the 1 and the 7 coming through for us. I'm actually going to read the first paragraph of this card. Many hands of the goddess. The goddess Kuan Yin brings blessings to multiple projects and many different parts of your life and consciousness, beloved. She is not limited to one task at a time. Do not be afraid to surrender into her guiding wisdom and creative genius now, for there is much that you can accomplish together and she wants to assist you. Which, I mean, is ironic because as I first looked at this card, I thought of ancestors, I thought of friends, I thought of family, I thought of spirit guides, all coming in to give a helping hand. So I find it synchronistic that this card depicts Kuan Yin wanting to come through and help you on multiple projects and endeavors. So November, I'm trying to see if a specific word wants to come through, but there isn't. I'm just hearing arms and hands and like all hands on deck, you know? So if there's multiple projects you want to focus on or need assistance with, opening yourself up to allowing this assistance to come in is going to be beneficial to you. And it's going to be important to not give in to fear. You know, we can often judge ourselves or maybe feel reluctant to share what we're working on because we don't want our ideas to be stolen. We don't want to be criticized, you know, or we naturally feel this competition energy come through when we share, or maybe have somebody else share with us what they're working on. So it can bring up a lot of shadows when it comes to talking about our projects with others. But we have the grace of the goddess coming through. We have Kuan Yin's blessing to open ourselves up, to share our gifts, and to be shared with. It's understanding that there is no competition. Competition doesn't actually exist. It's a creation that was sparked to cause division. But when we tune back into our heart centers, we realize that we are all one. We are all connected. I am a version of you. You are a version of me. And when we can operate through the world and start to see that way, we can truly open our hearts up and be receptive to one another without judgment, without criticism, and actually find joy in sharing and being shared with. So November is going to be a time where we need to really open up on a bigger scale. Look at all these arms. We only have 2, but imagine if we had all these arms that we could open up. Imagine the hug we could give if we had multiple arms. Imagine the impact we could have if we had multiple arms. And this, my friends, is the blessing that Kuan Yin is bestowing upon us in November. It is multiple arms, legs, hands. No, they're not going to be our own, but it's going to be through community. It's going to be through collaboration and really opening ourselves up to being seen, allowing our gifts, our projects to be seen, sharing them. And maybe we do feel some fear around being criticized or judged, but Kuan Yin is here to assist us, and it's this assistance that we need to lean into in November. And then we have the 1 and the 7. So with the 7 coming through again, we're having a spiritual blessing be bestowed upon us. And with the 1, it's that new start, it's that new beginning. So some of us might actually be kickstarting new projects in November and know that it's going to be heavily blessed by the goddess. November feels intense with all these arms and legs and hands. That's all I want to keep saying. Arms, legs, and hands. Let's see, healing energy for November. Ooh, I love this. It's so synchronistic. We have a new opening. When one door closes, I'm confident another will open, and it will be for my betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunity and learning they present to me. Serenity comes from within. That's absolutely beautiful. And it's synchronistic because I watched Moana 2 yesterday, and I can't remember the goddess's name, but she encounters a goddess that tells her sometimes the only way forward is to get lost and to allow yourself to be confused. And it's through that confusion and being lost that you find a new path forward. Because sometimes we can get so tunnel visioned on a certain way of doing something that we block out any other creative potential and any other pathways. So with this card, a new opening coming through, sometimes we need to just close our eyes and not see anything at all for a little bit. And while we're in this void space, this darkness, we allow the light to naturally emerge. And this light will guide us to that door. So we need to be comfortable being in the darkness on occasion, knowing that the light will emerge and guide us when need be. And I like that it says serenity comes from within. So there's going to be a lot of movement, but it's going to be like fun, joyous movement. But there's also going to be a lot of serenity in November. All right, so we're moving into the final month of 2025. Let's see what the goddess has to say. Oh, that's too many cards. We have Princess of the Autumn Harvest, card 22. And I know my camera doesn't do it justice, but she looks very happy. So, happiness in December? I think so. Let's see what this card says. Princess of the Autumn Harvest. The Princess of the Autumn Harvest brings gifts of bounty and blessing for efforts and actions of the past. It is a time when fruit of labors is ripe for the picking. A beautiful blessing is on its way to you now. This may come in the form of a spiritual gift, an opportunity, a windfall of abundance, a significant relationship, or an important friendship, and more. With gratitude in your heart, you will recognize the blessing when it comes to you, and it will serve you perfectly. Be open to receive it, knowing it is justly deserved. I think this is an absolutely beautiful way to end the year. By receiving, I want to say, a surprise harvest and abundance, because harvest, and we have Princess of Autumn, yet in December, it's winter time here, so it's going to be a surprise windfall, blessing, abundance coming through. And we have 2-2, so whatever it is going to be stable. It could be another person or persons offering us this harvest, but it's knowing that we're going to be reaping and receiving this harvest because of the work we've put in this year. We're going to receive, I'm hearing, a mountain of blessings for December. And just, oh my God, I wish you could see on this card how happy Kuan Yin is on this card. So December is going to be a very joyous, prosperous month. And look at all the flowers on here too. So December is going to be a very good month. And it's going to be stable. So whatever comes through, if it's an opportunity, it's kickstarting a new project, whatever it is, it's going to be stable as well. And it's going to bring a lot of joy and happiness. And that's how you're going to know it's for you. And then our closing healing energy for the 2025 year is Divine Light. I am an expression of love, and I shine like the sun. My inner light is my strength and my treasure. My intuition guides me to discover the wonder and goodness of who I am. Such a powerful way to end the 2025 year. As I said at the beginning of this live, I wanted to continue with alchemical archetypes this year, but Kuan Yin really wanted to come through, and this healing energy oracle deck also really wanted to come through. And I'm so happy it did, because I feel that as a collective now, more than ever, we need light. We need our own light to emerge and flow outwards. So for this card to come through, Divine Light, I couldn't have thought of a better message to close out the forecast for the 2025 year. So that concludes the forecast for this year. I hope that it is supportive and insightful for you throughout the upcoming weeks and months. I hope it is a guide for you that whenever you're having some questions, you can turn to it, give it a listen, any section really, and receive the insight that you seek. I look forward to seeing you all sometime in the future and connecting. I'm sending you all so much love.